The asphalt shimmered under the midday sun, turning the parking lot behind Riverside Mall into a furnace. Malik wiped sweat from his forehead, his worn backpack heavy with aluminum cans. He was 17, thin, dressed in a faded shirt that had seen too many washes. The heat didn't bother him much anymore. When you spent your afternoons digging through recycling bins to pay for your sister's insulin, you learned to ignore discomfort. He needed $40 more by tonight. The pharmacy didn't accept excuses, only cash. He spotted another recycling bin near the loading dock and headed toward it. That's when he saw the car. A silver Lexus parked at an odd angle near the back fence, engine off. Windows up tight. Strange, nobody parked back here in this heat, not when there were shaded spots up front. Malik's first thought was practical. Rich people sometimes left bottles in their cars. Maybe he'd get lucky. As he approached, he noticed movement inside. Not movement. Stillness. A woman slumped against the steering wheel, her head tilted at an unnatural angle. Her skin was flushed deep red, almost purple. Malik's stomach dropped. He knocked on the window hard. "Ma'am, you okay?" Nothing. He knocked again, louder this time. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" Still nothing. He pressed his face to the glass, cupping his hands to see better. The woman's lips were cracked and bleeding. Her chest barely moved. Malik put his palm against the window and jerked it back immediately. The glass was scorching, hot enough to burn. His mind raced. Heat stroke. She was dying in there. He grabbed the door handle and pulled. Locked. All of them locked. He looked around desperately. The parking lot was empty, except for the distant hum of traffic and the screaming of cicadas in the trees. Malik pulled out his phone, hands shaking as he dialed. 911. What's your emergency? The operator's voice was calm, professional. There's a woman unconscious in her car. The engine's off and it's so hot. I think she's dying. The words tumbled out too fast. Okay, slow down. Where are you? Malik gave the address, his eyes never leaving the woman's motionless form. Is she breathing? The operator asked. Barely, maybe not at all. How long until someone gets here? There was a pause that felt like an eternity. We've had a major pileup on the interstate. All units are responding. We're looking at 30 to 40 minutes. 30 minutes. Malik stared at the woman through the glass. Her face was the color of a bad sunburn, but there was no sweat. That was wrong. People sweated when they were hot, unless their body had already given up. She doesn't have 30 minutes, he said, his voice cracking. Sir, I understand your concern, but you need to wait for the paramedics. Do not attempt to move her. Malik hung up, chest tight, breath shallow. He sprinted to the security booth, backpack thudding. An elderly guard dozed inside. Sir, I need help, Malik yelled, jolting him awake. A woman's dying in that car. We have to get her out. The guard squinted at the Lexus, then at Malik's dirty clothes and stuffed backpack. That one? Yes. She's unconscious. We need to break the window. The guard crossed his arms. That's a $60,000 car. I break it, I lose my job. Ambulance is coming, right? She'll die before then. Not my problem. Stay away from that car. The guard walked back into his booth and sat down, adjusting his hat. Malik stood there, fists clenched, feeling utterly helpless. He looked back at the Lexus, at the woman who was running out of time. A memory hit him suddenly, violently. He was 7 years old, sitting alone in a dark apartment. His mother had left that morning, promising to be back soon. She never came back. Neither did his father. Malik had waited by the door all night, terrified, calling out for someone who would never answer. His grandmother found him the next day, sobbing and hungry. She scooped him up and held him tight, whispering that he'd never be alone again. But he remembered that feeling. The loneliness, the terror of being abandoned. of waiting for help that never came. He looked at the woman in the car and saw that same abandonment. She'd given up waiting. She was dying alone, and nobody cared. Malik's eyes landed on a construction site nearby. There, leaning against a pile of concrete blocks, was a metal pipe. He walked over and picked it up. It was heavy, solid. His mind screamed at him that this was crazy, that he'd get in trouble, that he should just wait for the ambulance. But 30 minutes was a death sentence. He couldn't let her die. Not like this. Not alone. He walked back to the Lexus, the pipe gripped tight in both hands. "Ma'am, if you can hear me, cover your face." "I'm breaking the glass." No response. Just that terrible, suffocating stillness. Malik raised the pipe. His arms trembled. He'd never destroyed anything on purpose in his life, never crossed that line. He thought about his sister, about the insulin he still needed to buy, about the trouble this would bring. Then he thought about the woman dying behind the glass. He swung. The pipe connected with the window, and the glass exploded inward with a sound like a gunshot. Shards flew everywhere, glittering in the sunlight. A wave of heat erupted from inside the car, hitting Malik in the face like opening an oven door. The air was thick, suffocating, lethal. He dropped the pipe and reached through the broken window, fumbling for the door lock. His fingers found it, pulled it up. The door opened with a heavy click. Malik hooked his arms under the woman and dragged her from the sweltering car, sneakers slipping on the asphalt. He pulled her into the thin shade of a dumpster and eased her down. Her skin burned. He used the last of his warm water to dampen her forehead and neck. "You're okay," he whispered. Voices approached. A man in a polo shirt lifted his phone, recording. What happened? A woman in a floral dress stared at the wrecked car. "Did you see what he did?" Malik looked up. She was dying. "I had to get her out." "You broke into someone's car," the man said. "No, I saved her. She was unconscious. More bystanders gathered, watching, filming, not helping. I already called 911, Malik said. But their eyes drifted to his worn clothes, his backpack, the shattered window. "What were you really doing back here, kid?" the man asked. The woman stirred. Malik leaned close. "Help is coming." Sirens wailed. 2 police cars arrived first. An officer stepped forward. The man with the phone spoke quickly. "We found this kid next to the car. Windows smashed." Malik stood. She wasn't moving. "I broke the window so she wouldn't die." The younger officer checked the woman. "She's alive. Severe heat exhaustion." The tall officer eyed Malik's backpack. "What's in the bag?" "Cans, for recycling." When he opened it, cans spilled out with his last $18. "You collect cans for money?" "For my sister's insulin." The officer scribbled. "You understand how this looks?" Malik's voice cracked. "How it looks?" "I saved her life." The ambulance arrived. Paramedics rushed over with a stretcher and equipment. They worked quickly, checking vitals, starting an IV, loading the woman onto the gurney. "Severe heat stroke," one paramedic said. "Core temperatures probably over 105. Another 10 minutes and she'd be gone." Malik looked at the officer, desperate for validation. "See, I saved her." But the tall officer was examining the car, the broken glass, the metal pipe on the ground. "We still need to sort this out. You're going to have to come down to the station." "The station?" Malik's voice broke. "But I didn't do anything wrong." The officer's expression softened slightly, but his voice remained firm. "Son, there's a procedure here. Rich lady's car gets damaged. We need to document everything. Get your statement. Check the security footage." He gestured toward the cameras mounted on the building. "If your story checks out, you'll be fine." If his story checked out, the words felt like a slap. Malik thought about his sister, about the insulin she needed by tonight, about the pharmacy that closed at 6. The paramedics wheeled the woman toward the ambulance. As they passed, her eyes fluttered open for just a moment. She looked directly at Malik, her lips forming a silent word. "Thank you." Then her eyes closed again. The officer put a hand on Malik's shoulder. Not rough, but not gentle either. "Let's go, son. The sooner we do this, the sooner you can leave." Malik looked at his phone. 2:15. He had less than 4 hours to earn $40 and get to the pharmacy. They walked him to the police car. Malik had never been in one before. The back seats smelled like disinfectant and fear. As the car pulled away, Malik watched through the rear window. The ambulance drove off in the opposite direction. The crowd dispersed. The silver Lexus sat alone, its window shattered, glass glittering on the asphalt like broken promises. He thought about his sister waiting at home, about the insulin running out, about how doing the right thing had somehow landed him in the back of a police car. The police station was cold after the blazing heat outside. Malik sat in the interview room, his wet shirt turning clammy. A camera blinked in the corner. Officer Martinez entered with a notepad and a cup of water. "Drink." Malik gulped it down, hands shaking. Martinez clicked his pen. "Tell me what happened." "From the beginning," Malik explained, collecting recycling for money, needing insulin for his sister, seeing the unconscious woman in the car, the guard refusing to help, breaking the window. Martinez's expression stayed neutral. "The guard will confirm your story." Malik nodded. "So you broke the window anyway." "She was dying," Malik said. "What was I supposed to do?" Martinez sighed. "I get it. But you damaged expensive property. We need camera footage and to contact the car's owner. Could take a few hours." Malik checked the clock. 3:10. "I need to leave. My sister needs insulin tonight." "Sit down," Martinez said firmly. "If you walk out, this becomes vandalism or attempted theft. Let me do my job." Malik sat, leg bouncing, watching the hours crawl. Finally, Martinez returned. "Good news. Footage confirms everything. You're free." Malik ran out of the station. It was 5:40. The pharmacy closed at 6, 20 minutes away by bus. He sprinted to the stop, lungs burning, but the bus pulled away. The next one was 30 minutes out. Too late, he called his sister, Kayla. "I'm not going to make it." Silence. "It's okay," she said softly, though it wasn't. His phone buzzed. A text. "This is Officer Martinez. The woman you saved, Dr. Catherine Mills, is awake. She's asking for you. Mercy Hospital, room 412. Exhausted, Malik walked the 6 blocks. He found her sitting up, 4 lines in her arms, looking far better than earlier. "Are you Malik?" she asked. "I'm told you saved my life." He stayed in the doorway. "I guess the police told me what happened after," she said gently. "That you missed something important because of me." "My sister needs insulin," Malik said, jaw tight. "Pharmacy's closed." Catherine's face fell. "I'm so sorry. Please let me help. Let me pay for it. I don't need charity." "It's not charity," she said. "It's responsibility. You saved my life." Malik hesitated. "Why were you in that car?" Pain crossed her face. "Today would have been my daughter's birthday. She died 2 years ago. She was 5. The anger in Malik's chest deflated. "I'm sorry." Catherine's eyes filled with tears. "I went to the cemetery this morning, spent hours there. The heat, the grief. I don't know. I got in my car, and I felt so tired. So I closed my eyes. I didn't mean to, but part of me didn't want to open them again." Malik understood then. The woman hadn't been careless. She'd been broken. "The police said something about attempted suicide," he said quietly. Catherine shook her head. "Not exactly. I just didn't fight to stay awake. Does that make sense?" Malik thought about it. "Yeah, it does." Catherine wiped her eyes. "My husband, he's been so worried. We've been falling apart since we lost Emma. I didn't realize how far I'd fallen until you pulled me out of that car. Literally pulled me back to life." She looked at Malik directly. "You gave me a second chance I didn't ask for. Please, let me help your sister. It's not charity. It's me paying forward the gift you gave me." Malik was quiet for a long time. Pride told him to refuse. But pride wouldn't keep his sister alive. "Okay," he said finally. "Thank you." Catherine picked up her phone. What pharmacy? What medication? Malik gave her the details. She made a call, speaking quickly, authoritatively. When she hung up, she smiled. "Done. The prescription is paid for, and they're staying open late for you. The pharmacist is a friend of mine. They'll wait until you get there." Malik felt something break inside him. Not break like shattering. Break like a dam releasing pressure. "Thank you," he whispered. "No," Catherine said softly. "Thank you for seeing me. For not walking past that car. For caring about a stranger when you had every reason not to." She paused. "The police said you were collecting cans to pay for medication. How long have you been doing that?" Malik shrugged. "A while, since my grandma died last year. It's just me and Kayla now." Catherine's expression shifted. "You're raising your sister alone?" Malik nodded. "I'm 17, she's 14. Social services would split us up if they knew, so we keep it quiet." Catherine leaned forward. "Malik, I'm a pediatrician. I run a clinic for low-income families. What you're doing, taking care of your sister, it's extraordinary. But you shouldn't have to do it alone." She pulled out a business card and wrote something on the back. "This is my clinic. Bring Kayla in. We'll set her up with proper care. Free of charge." Malik took the card, his hands trembling. "Why are you doing this?" Catherine's eyes were bright with unshed tears. "Because you reminded me that life is worth fighting for. That kindness still exists. That even in the worst heat, someone might break through the glass to save you." She smiled. "And because Emma would have liked you. She always loved people who helped others. Said she wanted to be a superhero when she grew up." Malik felt his own eyes burning. "She sounds amazing." Catherine nodded. "She was. And now, because of you, I get to honor her memory by helping other kids. By being the person she would have wanted me to be." She reached out and squeezed Malik's hand. "Go get your sister's insulin. And then, when you're ready, come see me at the clinic. Not just for Kayla's care. I want to talk to you about something else." Malik frowned. "What?" "I've been thinking about starting a scholarship program for kids like you who are doing extraordinary things under impossible circumstances. Kids who deserve a chance at college, at a future. I want you to be the first recipient." Malik's throat tightened. "I don't know what to say," Catherine smiled. "Say you'll think about it. Say you'll let someone help you the way you helped me. Say you'll keep being the remarkable person you already are." Malik left the hospital 20 minutes later, Catherine's words echoing in his mind. He took the bus to the pharmacy, where the pharmacist greeted him with a smile. "You must be Malik," Dr. Mills called. "Your sister's insulin is ready." She handed him the bag, and she set up an account. "Future prescriptions are covered for the next year." Malik clutched the bag to his chest, overwhelmed. "Thank you." "Tell her thank you again." Malik got home after 8. Kayla sat on the couch, pale with fear. But when she saw the insulin, she burst into tears. He injected her quickly, holding her close. "We're okay," he said. She asked what had happened, and he told her everything: the woman in the car, breaking the window, the police, and meeting Dr. Mills. "You saved someone's life," she whispered. Malik shook his head, but she hugged him. "You're my superhero." 3 months later, Malik stood in Dr. Mills' clinic wearing a volunteer badge. Kayla's diabetes was finally under control, and Catherine had kept every promise: the scholarship help, medical care, support. She even wrote Malik a recommendation letter that made him cry. One afternoon, Catherine called him to the lobby. Officer Martinez stood there with a framed certificate. Malik Thompson, the Citizen Hero Award, he said. Malik stared, speechless. Martinez smiled. Just keep being you. Catherine wrapped an arm around him. I'm proud of you for what you did, and for everything since. Malik looked at Kayla, then the certificate. That day, I thought I'd ruined everything. But saving her, it saved me too. Doing the right thing is what makes us human. Catherine's eyes shone. Emma would have loved you. 6 months later, Malik received a full scholarship to study medicine. At his send-off party at the clinic, surrounded by people whose lives he'd touched, Catherine raised a glass. To Malik, who proved heroes don't walk past someone in need. Malik looked at his new family. I'm proud of us, he said, because choosing compassion changes everything.